Hello, I'm Yuri Ramirez. Thank you for joining us today. We are excited to do the first MSIX Live Talk that I hope you're able to engage, and also to learn more about the MSIX system. I want to start off by saying that prior to being an MSIX trainer, I was a MEV recruiter in Region 2 for almost 7 years in Yuba Sutter counties. I was doing some home visits to do the eligibility interview, communicating with schools, with staff to see if there was new students that could potentially qualify for MEV services, and going to migrant centers to do mass recruitments with other recruiters. Those were some of my vital duties as a recruiter. And from my experience in being in that position, I strongly believe other recruiters can find the MSIX system helpful and also as useful as a recruitment tool. Other useful tools are demographics, assessments, enrollments, and different reports available for users depending their access permissions. And I cannot forget that those names on the COE had to be aligned to previous COEs, so MSIX would have helped with data quality, checking students, parents, and guardians' names. Probably flag a student record for migrant merging requests because of duplicate student record. So, Yesenia, do you want to say something more about what is it that you do in your position, or what is something that you did before?
Yes. So like you mentioned, that there's new MSIX users, or if you don't know us, we've been in this position for 3 years, and we provide MSIX assistance and training to all 20 grantees. And we are based with the Migrant Education Program in Region 2 through Butte County Office of Education. And today we are located in Oroville, California. So I just want to say that I have been with the program off and on for a few years. I have lost count, but I was first hired in 1997 as a student assistant for a Spanish Summer Institute for Teachers. And this was in Corning, California. It was Maywood Middle School where I grew up. And so firsthand, also I was a migrant child, so I saw the benefits of the migrant education program along with my siblings. My parents were farm laborers, so we saw some benefits. After I graduated high school, I went to college down in Anaheim, California. I became a traditional graphic artist, and I was in that field for a couple of years. But then, life happened, and I went into education. And so when I went back into education, I was a teacher's assistant. And so after that, it was part-time. So after that, I saw the opportunity of a full-time position with the migrant education program, and I was hired in 2009 as a family support professional in the Santa Rosa area. So through all that experience of being with the program, I could see that students benefit from, summer school. They were excited about summer camp, and also all the university trips that are available. And so when the program gives the students the drive to say, le voy a echar ganas a la escuela, right? So those are the benefits that provides, and working with the MSIX, and also having the experience of knowing the system. Now we can see the benefits that it produces for these students. So maybe you can tell us a little bit more about how the MSIX works and what it does.
Yeah, I would be glad to share that. So the National Database Migrant Student Information Exchange, also known as MSIX, is where all the migrant student information is stored and transferred from the different states' databases to generate a consolidated student record. It is mandated that any local educational agency and state educational agencies that receive funding to comply in the transference education and health information to the MSIX system. Prior to this technological platform, it was challenging for lab staff and frontline educators to receive the latest information of the migratory student because of their highly mobile lifestyle, as we know. So in 1969, Congress and the department supported the Migrant Student Record Transfer System, MSRTS, as the primary vehicle for transferring educational and health information on migrant students. Then in 1995, MSRTS was terminated due to slowness, incompleteness, and unfortunately infrequent use. So since its inception at that time, 49 states entered data into MSRTS, and it served as a central repository of information over 600 migrant students. Although users of that system connected via lease lines and modems, the methods for sending, the methods for sending and receiving information did not reflect the current technological trends at that time. So MSIX was still in the early development stages, and then what it is today, and has significant enhancements, ever since then. At that time, the migratory students move faster than the data can get to the new school, since the only technological tool that would be the fastest to get the right information was via the telephone, the fax machine, and emails.
Oh, wow. That hurts.
Yeah, back in old school, right? So, however, that kind of platform was ineffective. So it needed to find a way that would be burdenless and centralized for all legitimate users to have access and to keep maintenance of student records up to date. So that's why MSIX is a technological tool to receive up-to-date responses and a safe platform to exchange communication with other users nationwide and statewide, to exchange communication. So that way, the most accurate data and fastest way possible is through that platform that we're using today. So that way, migratory students can receive the appropriate supplemental services for them to successfully obtain their GED and high school diploma. So
great. Well, I'm happy to know that it is it developed into something more efficient for migratory children.
So I have a question for you too. We just saying, and knowing how the MSIX works, how does this benefit our migrant students?
Well, again, knowing the experience of working with migrant children and also being a migrant child myself, when you move through different states and you go to attend different schools, the MSIX keeps record of these courses during the regular school year and during the summer. So the registrant, the counselor, or even a med support staff are able to use a consolidated student record if they have access to it. And they're able to assist families to make sure that they're good to go for their next enrollment. And also additionally, we can go on and talk about more benefits, but one example also is that if when there is no med staff at a school where we have migrant students, then an MSIX user at a school can look up their consolidated student record and benefit from their school program. So right away, they're also don't have to worry about paying for their students' lunch. And of course, getting also enrolled right away in the appropriate class or grade, which is one of the most difficult things that happens. So so we can talk about more benefits, and stay tuned for our next programmed MSIX Live Talk, and hope to see you soon.
I'll see you guys next time on the next MSIX Live Talk. See you soon.